have an accent? I didn't know.
So pleased to have them with us, ladies and gentlemen, Sandler and Young.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Sandler and Ralton.
Just a traveling along, sing a song, side by side.
Yeah, aren't they something? Sandler and Young.
When love comes in and takes you for a spin. Ooh, la, la,
The Tony Sandler Podcast, the story of the amazing career from the man himself.
It was a very good year.
And now, Tony Sandler.
Estoy muriendo de...
Please welcome Mr. Tony Sandler.
How do you feel about swinging down memory lane one more time?
I will do my best, my very best, to entertain you.
Life was so good in the sunshine days, days that were soon to grow dark. You were my love in the sunshine days. Why was I restless at heart? Take me back to those sunshine days where the grape was green on the vine. Take me back to those sunshine days where the past and future were mine.
Tony, last time we left them hanging with a story about Phil Silvers, and he had invited all of the who's who of Hollywood, I think it was, to...
Well, Sergeant Bilko, you know, he was... Phil Silvers was a comedian, as many people know, mm-hmm. and he had an act on stage that, he played the clarinet.
Did he really? I did not know that.
Yes, and he had this look on his face always. He played the clarinet, and he played it actually beautifully. And then there was an interruption from the musicians, and he would turn his head and kill him with his eyes, you know. He was, not only was Phil a terrific entertainer, he was really a deep, good person. Had a beautiful family, by the way.
Really?
Wife and 5 kids, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I really, as I got to know this man, who was so instrumental, we'll talk about it, in Sandler and Young's beginnings.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, he was dear to my heart.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Good memories. What happened with...
Well, in our previous podcast, we talked about Ralph and I landing in the Sahara Lounge.
Right.
Sahara Hotel on the Strip in Las Vegas. So we're there, and we get the worst time schedules. Mm-hmm. You know, there were like 5 acts in the lounge, alternating for a 12-hour period. You got the afternoon, nobody showed up. 5 or 6 o'clock when people have dinner. And then, of course, the last slot we got was at 1:50. I think 1:45 rather, to 2:30, 45 minutes in the morning. Uh-huh. So one evening, we were in the lounge performing. Many other people were in the lounge, including Don Rickles was in the same lounge in that in the lineup of the lounge acts. Mm-hmm. And Phil Silvers was in the main room. The main room at the Sahara held about, I think, 800 people. And he filled that place at 8 in the evening and at 12. That was the headliner. He had seen us rehearse because Phil's conductor, piano player, was Leo the Lion, who, strangely enough, became Sandler and Young's conductor.
That's right.
10 years later.
Yeah, yeah.
So Leo the Lion had witnessed one of our rehearsals when we worked with Key Howard and lining up all the Sandler and Young stuff that we did, the songs, the quadlibets, and all that stuff, singing 2 different songs at the same time in 2 different languages. And so Leo had seen us rehearse and was quite impressed, Leo the Lion. By the way, Leo the Lion was the only guy that could hum a tune and whistle another one at the same time.
Oh, he was a fascinating character.
No, nobody ever could do that.
And he did a lot of voices.
Leo did a lot of voices
for animations and
for the animation. Yeah.
By the way, Leo is not. Wasn't his real name? Was it Leo DeLion?
No, his Leo was 11. Leo 11.
Okay.
Leo, a dear man. Also, he's still alive. He's 93 or 94. I talk to him occasionally.
Wonderful.
So he told Phil, and Phil just snuck in one day while we were rehearsing, and I remember Phil sitting there really touched with what we were doing, actually to the point that he was in tears.
Yeah.
And that was that, that was great. Then all of a sudden, he knew that Polly Bergen and Polly's husband,
Freddie
Fields, who was a big Hollywood producer, they were putting together a tour for Polly, a show with big orchestra and all the trimmings. And they felt that she needed help on stage. What were they looking for? 2 tall guys.
The claim to fame for Sandler and Young.
And also stealing some of our material. Because we did some funny stuff like Mr. Boom Boom and all that stuff.
Right.
Anyhow, Phil heard about that, and he told Polly to come and take a look at us while we were performing. And we were there one afternoon, probably, like I said, with nobody in the room except 2 drunks and a couple of prostitutes. But we honed our craft, really, and that was fine. And she must have snuck in one afternoon and heard us do our thing. Now, the Sandler and Young act, like I said before, needed audience reaction. I mean, any serious act needs to bounce off an audience.
Especially with the humor. Yeah.
And with the humor and Ralph's antics and all that stuff. So she snuck in and was not impressed at all. In fact, she went to Phil. She said, "What are you talking about? Those guys stink." Oh, really? And Phil came down on her like, I don't want to repeat what he said. But anyhow, she... one night, Phil Silvers is doing his 12 o'clock midnight show. At 1:30, his show is over. He said, "Folks, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm going to get out of my tuxedo here and go right to the lounge where those 2 guys are performing, Tony and Ralph, Sandler and Young." And all of a sudden, we had a packed room that night.
Wow, and you did not know this was going to happen, right? It was just
nobody. That was, all of a sudden we had our room is packed. Wow.
Blue Spanish eyes, teardrops are falling from your Spanish eyes. Please, please don't cry. This is just adios and not goodbye.
From then on in, we started getting a notoriety, and then one night, Polly came in again with Freddie Fields. They saw the full show with a packed house. They saw the reaction, and he sealed the deal right there. He said, "Guys, do you want to? We have about 12 or 15 shows lined up with Polly. Do you want to be part of this?" And I said, "Freddie, sounds great," because we saw the opportunity to be in the big room immediately with her.
Right.
And then all the other places that she was going to, for example, the Coconut Grove, which was top of the line night spot in Los Angeles.
We have large venues and
large orchestra. Because then she also had a deal with the Desert Inn on the Strip in Vegas. That was a magnificent hotel, by the way, and a beautiful hotel. So, and ultimately, the top prize was landing in New York with her at the Plaza Hotel, the Persian Room, which was the cream of the crop.
Yes.
So, happily, we signed with her. She incorporated herself into our act, like when we sang Mr. Boom Boom. Monsieur Boom Boom, tel ritme de la peau. And Ralph, I said, bing, 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 bing. Ralph said, no, boom, 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 boom. And she was standing between us, looking at Ralph and me, doing the thing, looking left, looking right. And then all she did is grab the paper out of Ralph's hand at the end of the song.
Mm-hmm.
Grab the paper out of his hand, turn the paper, and to all three of them he said, boom, boom.
Monsieur Boum Boum, t'as le rythme dans la peau. Monsieur Boum Boum, c'est toi qui dans le tempo, ça balance comme ça. Quand tu fais 1, 2, 3, ding 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 ding.
Oh no,
Monsieur Boum Boum, ça balance terriblement avec des bim bim bim. Monsieur Boum Boum, t'as les dents des jeunes incognitos, ding 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 ding.
No,
When the kids all sing on every record, you'll always hear them sing. Monsieur Boum Boum, cette fois je suis dans le mouvement avec des bim bim bim. Monsieur Boum Boum, t'as les dents des jeunes incognitos, ding 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 ding.
Oh no,
That was that.
It's actually a really good comedy piece, and I hope people watch that on your videos, on the Sandler Young television
well,
specials.
it was a mainstay there for us. But she stood there just acting, looking at me when I did my part, and Ralph when he did his part. And then all she did at the end. And you know something that was kind of interesting? She had a stage director that was putting her show together, and he saw us do that, and he saw us do that. And all of a sudden he came up with this brilliant idea for her to grab the paper out of Ross' hand, I think, at that point in the song, and turn it around and then say, boom, boom, boom. And you know how much he charged her for that?
No.
$1,500. Yeah, I've never forgot that. So every time we did it on stage, I said, "Wow, here goes $1,500." Funny. But
well, Luther Henderson was the band director.
Luther Henderson was
for Polly.
Luther Henderson was a distinguished black man with gray hair, very knowledgeable man.
He was an arranger also.
Oh, superb musician. You know, he was right top of the line there, and he had put together a 32-piece orchestra for her.
Wow!
So there were 18-piece, 18-piece band, the brass, and then strings.
So the
string section.
Sandler and Young had performed just with a piano. Prior to this,
no. In the lounge we had a quartet.
Okay.
You know, we had a piano, bass, drums, and guitar.
Okay.
But here, all of a sudden, because we're part of Polly Bergen, Luther Henderson starts writing those magnificent arrangements for us.
Yeah.
Like we sang "Gonna Build a Mountain" with her. Gonna build a mountain. Remember that one?
Yeah.
And a lot of other things. So here we have this wealth of this magnificent arrangements that didn't cost us a dime.
Yeah.
Because,
by the way, you were just talking about, I think it's the Inspiration medley that Luther arranged with Climb Every Mountain.
Yeah, you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, there was a medley that we did with Polly as well. That was called Inspiration Medley. And the fourth song actually was Climb Every Mountain. Yes, beautiful arrangement.
I remember in one of your televised interviews, Mary Martin was interviewing you. Mary Martin, the Broadway star. And she was raving about seeing you at the Persian Room. And the Persian Room was really chic, very top-of-the-line nightclub.
Well, it was the premier nightclub in the world, actually. Because,
absolutely.
Yeah. But Mary Martin, what a sweet lady she was.
And she raved about your performance.
And she was there when all of Hollywood was there.
Well, she talked about how they just leapt to their feet and screamed and hollered. They were just totally enthralled.
I don't remember that at all.
No, I think it's fabulous. And you did some more. Okay, the Coconut Grove would be another one.
Well, here's what happened with Polly that could have never happened with us when we were at the lounge. her connections, and also Freddie Fields, her husband, had all the connections in the world. So here we perform at the Coconut Grove, and the whole of Hollywood is there. I mean, it was amazing. The people that I could name that were, Sonia Henney was there. Sonia Henney, right?
Yeah.
Edward G. Robinson. Now, Edward G. Robinson, I love this actor. I love this man, Edward G. Robinson.
He was a great actor.
After we performed at the Coconut Grove, here is Edward G. Robinson standing in line to shake my hand. I said, what? What?
You'd seen him in the movies. You were just amazed, yeah.
Yeah, I was just, Kirk Douglas was there with his wife.
Edward G. Robinson, by the way, was a very sophisticated man. He was a...
That's why he liked us,
immigrant.
because he was so sophisticated. What are we talking about?
No, he collected fine art. He loved classical music.
What was he, Romanian, right?
I think so. He was an immigrant and came over, I think, when he was about 10.
Yeah.
Very sophisticated man. It's interesting because he played all these rough...
Oh, he was tough,
gangster
but that
types.
was. Oh, I admire this guy.
Yeah.
I lately saw
Very
one of
good
his
actor.
movies, and I just relish it. So it's often that I watch TV now and see the old movies, and I say, I know him, I knew her. It's kind of funny. But who was there also was Kirk Douglas, and Kirk Douglas was there with his wife, Anne Boylan was her name, and she was Belgian, by the way.
Was she?
Yeah, and. Was it Boylan or Boynt, whatever?
I don't know.
But Kirk was an interesting fella. He came to us. He said, "Fellas, I was watching you guys on stage there," and he said, "I saw something that I kind of had never seen before." He said, "It's like you don't try to go to the people." You let them come to you. I said, really? Did you feel? He said, yeah. But it's kind of an interesting thing that happened when the two of you did your act on stage, that you drew in the people.
It's a connection, yeah.
Yeah, and I never forgot that. You know, Kirk was a hell of an actor.
There will be many other nights like this. And I'll be standing here with someone new. There will be other songs to sing, another fall, another spring, but there will never be another you.
I understand. Was Lauren Bacall? We had a fun story with
you had
her.
to bring that up. Yeah, Lauren Bacall had seen us in the Persian room, and Val Irving was our manager already at that time. And Lauren said to Val, "That Belgian fella." And Val said, yeah. She said, "That Belgian fella. I want that Belgian flesh." And Val said, "Can't have him. He's married."
They come true if there will never ever be
On the next episode of the Tony Sandler podcast,
I was standing there. We were standing there waiting. There was a little stairs going up to the stage, backstage. And they come down after, and Cher walks down, and I was standing right there in front, and she looks me straight in the eye, and she said, I guess we bombed.
to learn more about the Sandler & Young Legacy Collection, head to sandlerandyoung-legacy.com. The Tony Sandler Podcast is a TSLS production, engineered and edited by Digital Engine Media, Minneapolis. Subscribe to the Tony Sandler Podcast through your favorite podcast provider and receive updated episodes right when they're released.